Shh. It's that time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
I would never let a white boy beat me. I would never let a white boy beat me. Possible opponent. Big right hand, he's out. And it's over. It's over, and it's going to be a knockout victory for Joe Smith.
What up, team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. Hope everybody is doing well, staying healthy, and having a great day. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way in and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So, over the weekend, a couple of fights to talk about. No heavyweight action to talk about though. But the first fight was Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon Arthur. I watched most of the card. I was kind of in and out because the rest of the fights on the card were ball bag mismatches, in my opinion. Not really worth the time to watch. I had better things to do. But I did watch the main event. I was highly interested to see how Anthony Yarde was going to deal with a guy who likes to fight on the back foot, has a very good, very quick jab, and was taller than Anthony Yarde with a longer reach. Also, I wanted to see how Yarde looked against an opponent that could have been competitive after his devastating loss to Sergey Kovalev last year. And to me, it seemed as if Yarde was being just a little bit too cautious. I mean, the dude was coming in, trying to move his head to get past the jab, throwing one punch and then trying to reset. We all know Anthony Yarde has pretty good power on both hands, pretty good head movement, but against a guy like Lyndon Arthur who has a good jab but doesn't have a lot of power, I thought he could have rushed him and he could have got him out of there in less than 5 rounds, not a problem. But it seemed Anthony Yarde was too worried about his stamina to me. He was worried about trying to go too hard and gassing out and getting stopped like he did against Kovalev. But Kovalev is a totally different kettle of fish. He's a power puncher. So I thought Anthony Yarde maybe lost his balls a bit in this fight. If he had have had his balls, he could have won this fight here. I think he could have got Arthur out of there quite easily. I mean, I scored the first 6 rounds all to Lyndon Arthur. All of them. Just on the jab. I mean, Arthur threw the right hand a couple of times but couldn't land it in that first half of the fight. Or maybe there was one right hand he landed in the whole first 6 rounds. There was a couple of rounds in there where Anthony Yarde was putting the pressure on, but he wasn't quite in range enough to be landing shots, and Lyndon Arthur was seeing the shots coming because he was judging the distance very, very well. There was one round, I think it was the second round, Anthony Yarde landed one right hand, and some people gave him that round based on the one right hand, but never mind the 20 to 30 odd jabs that landed clean on Anthony Yarde in that round. So for me, that one clean good punch doesn't outweigh a clean landed jab that was landed multiple times. I did score the fight 116-112 to Lyndon Arthur, but later on in the fight, when Anthony did try to pour it on a bit more, he was a little bit more successful and he got a few rounds there. The 12th round in particular, where Yarde decided to actually pour on the pressure, he nearly got Arthur out of there. If he had have done that from the start, I think he could have got Arthur out of there a lot earlier. Gareth Hancock in the house, good to have you in, brother. What up, man? Hope you're well. So Anthony Yarde, seemingly disgusted at the decision because he won the last couple of rounds. I think he won round 8 and... Actually, let me get my score sheet here. Got it right here. What did I have? Like I said, I gave Lyndon Arthur the first 6. I gave Anthony Yarde round 7, round 8, round 11, and round 12. So that's how I had it scored. I mean, there was one judge in there that scored it 117 to 111 to Yarde. Lyndon Arthur only winning 3 rounds when he had the superior jab, was the ring general for his defense as well. There's the 4 criteria for scoring: clean, effective punching, effective aggression. Clean, effective punching. No, it's not one of them, is it? We've got defense is 1. We've got ring generalship 2. We've got effective aggression 3, and yeah, clean, effective punching the 4th. I thought 3 of those criteria Lyndon Arthur easily had in most rounds. Now you could argue, well, some people will argue effective aggression to Anthony Yarde in most rounds. Yes, he was aggressive in a lot of the rounds, but he was not effective. When you're not landing punches, it's not effective. So, in my opinion, there's no controversy. Anthony Yarde's got to grow a set of balls and not be afraid of gassing out against a fighter who doesn't have a lot of power. I think Yarde's actually got a pretty good chin. He was only stopped against Kovalev because he was gassing out. Maybe he thought he could have got Kovalev out of there earlier, and it just turned out that he couldn't. Also, Stephen 4722, aka Marla, in the house. Good to have you in, brother. I'll drop a link in the chat for anybody who might like to join on Discord there. There you go. I'll pin that to the top and jump in there myself. A sec here. Pardon me. Okay, I'm in the chat myself. If anybody else wants to jump in and have a yarn, can do so. Going to get to the Errol Spence and Danny Garcia fight very shortly. But yeah, all in all, I thought there was no controversy in the fight. I thought Anthony Yarde was not pouring enough pressure on. He's got the power in both hands to get a guy like Arthur out of there. He proved that in the 12th round, but the 12th round is far too late. And like I said, I gave him 4 rounds. Round 6 and 7, round 11 and 12. Oh, sorry, round 7 and 8, and round 11 and 12. But Arthur did very well with his jab, and there was lots of talk about he has the style to beat somebody like Anthony Yarde. I think he does when Anthony Yarde loses his gusto. I think he could have got Arthur out of there if he had poured it on, but fact is he didn't. He's only got himself to blame for losing that fight. So cut the crap, Anthony Yarde, you lost. But that one judge scoring 3 rounds to Lyndon Arthur and 9 rounds to Anthony Yarde, he's got to be getting paid. Frank Warren's got him in his pocket. I thought that was pretty disgusting. Right, the Errol Spence and Danny Garcia fight. It was kind of a fight where we wanted to know how Errol Spence is going to look after his life-threatening car crash, where he got out pretty much unscathed, besides some facial lacerations and loss of his teeth due to being thrown out of the car and kissing the pavement pretty hard. I thought Errol Spence actually looked pretty good in there. I mean, if Errol hadn't had that crash, I would have thought how the fight went is something along the lines of how it would have gone if he hadn't had a crash. So, I mean, there was a little bit of ring rust, I thought, but it was the general, standard Errol Spence performance. If you don't get his respect early, he keeps growing into the fight. He learns his timing for you. He keeps getting more and more effective. He pulls on more and more pressure. I mean, Danny Garcia did have his moments. He landed a few good punches, but also it was a pretty much standard performance from Danny Garcia when it comes to championship level boxing at 147. It's always Danny Garcia could have done more. His problem is he can't get out of that counter-punching mentality. He's a very good counter-puncher, but Spence had it over him nearly the whole fight. Spence did tend to seem to slow down towards the end of the rounds, and he did say in the post-fight interview that he felt a bit tired, his stamina wasn't quite there, and after being out of the ring for 14 months, having a massive car crash, it's understandable. So I don't think Errol Spence was 100%. If he was, I think maybe he could have poured it on a bit more in those last 3 rounds instead of sort of coasting to a victory. I scored the fight 116-112 in that one as well for Errol Spence, obviously. Wow, you scored at 119-109. I was surprised the judges gave Danny so many rounds. Okay. Those last 3 rounds in particular, I thought he took his foot off the gas considerably, so I think it was the last 3 I gave Danny, and there was one in there where Spence slowed down a bit. Let me find my sheet here. Yeah, I gave Danny round 2, actually. Gave Danny round 2, gave him round 4, and I gave him round 7 and round round 11 and round 9. So pretty much it was for scoring the fight half by half. I had 58-56 for the first half, 58-56 for the second half. I can't remember exactly why I scored what, but at the time, that's how I saw it. And interestingly enough, 2 of the judges also gave Danny 4 rounds. So yeah, it is what it is, man. But I still think the right man won. Danny didn't do enough as usual when it comes to championship fights at 147. Errol Spence gets to move on. I see Terence Crawford was at the fight. They had a bit of a crowd at the fight. I think they had like 80,000 seat stadium, but they only had 16,000 in there, trying to socially distance them and whatnot. Down in Texas, so one of the red states where it's no full lockdown down there for the COVID situation. Yeah, it is what it is. I've spent so many rounds. He wasn't doing enough. He wasn't just fighting in spurts. Spence was too slick and too big. Yeah, he's always too big at welterweight for a lot of guys. But credit to Danny for getting in there. He's still went the distance with a very heavy puncher. He landed some good shots throughout it, and realistically Danny's a 140 fighter, always has been. I don't know why he moved up to 147, just to try and get some glory, I guess, daring to be great, but he just hasn't quite got it at championship level at 147. Sure, there's plenty of guys he can beat, but when it comes to the top guys, nah, he's never going to beat these top guys at 147. Yep, I thought Spence looked good considering everything. Yeah, definitely. Danny looked neutralized on the outside. Yep, definitely, man. I'll jump on in a minute. Sweet as, Stephen. No problem, man. Probably only be about another 15-20. If you wanted to jump on for young, then I'm going to jump on and have a bit of a game on Fightnight Champion. But anybody's quite welcome to jump on and drop their thoughts about these couple of fights that happened over the weekend and anything else boxing they want to talk about. Feel free to hit that link. It's pinned to the top there if anybody wants to jump on. Make sure this chat's up and working. Yes, I am in there and it is working. That's good. Sweet as. So yeah, Terence Crawford was at the fight. Errol Spence was asked about what he wants to do next, but didn't really say anything about what he wants to do next, besides next time he's going to be 120% for the fight, meaning his stamina. He did taper off towards the end of the fight. But yeah, it was a decent fight to watch. It was competitive, action-packed, as most Errol Spence fights are. So I'm pleased for Errol Spence. Well done to him. But enough mucking about, man. Let's see this Crawford v Spence fight. I mean, both guys are the types of guys that start sort of slowish and work their way into a fight. The longer the fight goes, the harder it is to get on top of these guys. So I really want to see these guys against each other. One guy's, I think Spence is 33. Spence is 30 or 31, somewhere there, and Crawford is 33. We don't want to leave this fight any longer before these guys, one of them at least, starts getting aged out. I want to see these guys in the ring at their peaks. Both of them are at their peaks now. So let's get it. Enough mucking about, enough trying to build a fight. If they make the fight now, it's gonna sell. Anybody who watches fights at 147 wants to see that fight. It's a fight that I will pay for. Regardless of what's on the undercard, I will pay for it. So get it. Let's get it. No more mucking about. Uncle Al and Uncle Bob need to sort their differences. Get it made. They work together for Fury and Wilder. Let's get it done for Spence and Crawford as well. Hurry up. I'm sick of hurry up and waiting. We don't want another Pacquiao Mayweather left 5 years too late. We don't want to left 20 years too late, like a Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. That was ridiculous, you know. It's a fight we need to see who is the king at 147. Not we want it, we need it. We need it, y'all. So let's get it. Let's get it. Alright, kind of just waiting a bit to see if Steven's going to jump on, or anyone else going to jump on. I give it about 5 minutes. If no one's jumped on by then, I'm going to get into this game. So A's into G's. If you want to jump on and give your opinion, get to it. Huh. Oh no, I'm still in there. But yeah, I did see a bit of the Josecito Lopez v Santana fight that was also on that Fox card. It was meh, you know. I think Lopez shouldn't be facing guys like that. He should be facing. I mean, Santana's tough, and credit to him, but nah, it wasn't an exciting fight. It wasn't an exciting fight. It was a mismatch. I would pay for Porter v Crawford. Yeah, so would I. Now, Sean Porter is mandatory for 3 governing bodies at the moment. So, you know, he's mandatory for both of Vera Spencer's belts, and he's mandatory for Crawford's belt as well. So if they don't get it on, one of them is going to be forced to fight Sean Porter within 12 months, regardless whether there's crowds or all that sort of crap. And if nobody wants to fight him, well, they're going to have to drop their belt. But what I suspect may happen is Al Heyman's going to try and push for Porter v Crawford first, so he can kind of get a double dip. I think Crawford will beat Porter handily. Maybe not stop him, maybe stop him, but I think he'll beat him. And then Spence will be forced to fight. Oh no, he won't be forced to fight Crawford, but that fight will be open. After that, and Al Heyman will be able to get another dip at a big fight. So we'll see what happens, but I really want to see that Spence and Crawford fight. It's got to happen, man. It really does. It has to happen. And it's not like either fighter is the one that doesn't want the fight. It's just Al Heyman and Bob Arum that are the problem. The fight's built as much as it's going to get built. It's just pissing people off now. So, get with the program, you two. Work together like you did with Fury and Wilder. Get it done, and let's see. So who's got that last? Who's got that last 147 belt? Spencer's got what? IBF and WBC. Crawford's got the WBO. Oh, Manny Pacquiao has the WBA belt, doesn't he? And he doesn't fight very often. So, man, I don't know if Manny really wants to fight either Spence or Crawford. So, there's not much chance of Manny unifying, I don't think. I think these guys are just too young, too big, and too hungry for Manny at his age. Maybe 10 years ago it would have been a good fight for Manny against either of these guys, but these guys were a lot younger then and not really in the mix. So it is what it is. Steven's just trying to jump on, having those usual issues again, I suppose. It might be easier if you actually joined the server instead of just trying to jump on as a casual. I'd give you the the right membership, but I can't do it if you're not a member of the server. There you go, you're on. Got it sorted, brother.
Can you hear me, Jono?
Yeah, bro, I got you.
Sweet, mate.
Another mission, was it?
yeah, I'm still, I'm sort of, I had to click on live panel, I think. I was clicking on the wrong thing.
Oh, yep. That's the
Yep,
one.
so, yeah, no, it's so good. Yep. Yeah, the old Danny Garcia fight, man. I came up with a lopsided scorecard. I was surprised. Like, one judge gave Danny 5 rounds, another judge gave him 4 rounds. I just didn't see. I just saw, Errol just being too slick and too big. I watched Danny in that fight, and so often he was just on the outside getting dominated. He just wasn't effective, and he, like, Errol was dominating the rounds, whereas Danny was just fighting in little spurts. And the problem for Danny is, he'd land a good body shot, or he might land a good headshot, but Errol didn't let him get away with it. Errol would come straight back with counters.
That's
So it
right.
negated what Danny had just done. I just didn't. I felt like Errol was fighting more consistent, and Danny was fighting in spurts. And I just didn't feel he was doing enough to win rounds. And even later on in the fight, when Errol started to tire a little, Danny still wasn't dominating. Errol was still landing enough punches to win the rounds, and Danny was still relatively inactive. He just didn't look effective to me. He just looked out slicked and out muscled. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean,
I could see, there was probably 2 of the rounds I gave Danny there that were pretty close. I thought they could have gone either way. So, no, I wouldn't argue with something like a 118, 110 or something close
that's
to
what
that.
I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I mean, if I watched it again, I might be able to scrape another round up for Danny.
Yeah, I might have been, I might have been
118,
giving
110.
those close rounds out of sympathy to Danny,
Yeah, I wasn't. I was really scoring it quite ruthlessly, and I wanted to give him rounds. I don't want to score it lopsided, because he wasn't heartless in there, Danny. He was trying hard. It was not like he just showed up to get paid. He was trying. But as I say, I just felt he was out slicked and out muscled. Errol was just a better fighter, and if I watched the fight again, I probably might be able to scrape another round up for Danny, make it 118 to 110, but I can't see the judges giving him Danny 4 and 5 rounds. I mean, it was a bit of a beatdown, really, that fight.
Pretty much.
I don't think he won 4. I don't think he won 4 or 5 rounds. And his dad was merciless with him at the press conference. His dad said, "Oh, Danny just needed to let his hands go. You can tell a guy to do something, but you can't make him do it." And it's like he couldn't get inside to let his hands go. He was on the outside. He was neutralized, man.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get in there.
Yeah, and then he's stuck in that counter-punching mentality. He can't really be that aggressive most of the time, and if he is, it's not very effective. Most of the shots he does throw end up getting blocked, or people get out of the way of them. So yeah, I just think at 147 he hasn't quite got it, and
No,
it's a standard thing with Danny when the championship fights. You always think, man, Daddy could have just done a bit more. I mean, this fight was a bit different to the Porter fight and the what was the other one? He lost closely. Oh, Spence. No, it wasn't Spence. Who was it? I can't remember. But there was 2 other championship fights he closely lost where we thought he could have done more. But this one, I think, was a lot more convincing. So
it was. I mean, he needed to go after Spence.
He did.
He needed to get aggressive with Spence. Like Sean Porter, he got aggressive with Spence. And when I watched that fight, I think I scored that fight 115 to 112 to Spence. He that knockdown really helped. It was 7 rounds to 5, and he got the knockdown, so it was made at 115, 112.
Yeah.
But Porter gave a good account of himself. Yeah, Danny was just too passive.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, everybody was talking about it, that Danny needed to come out quick and try and get some respect out of Spence early on, and he just didn't do it. Everybody, even the expert boxing pundits, were saying the same thing, but it's just not in him to do it. He couldn't do it, so yeah. Man, kudos to Danny for trying, but
I thought Errol looked good considering the severity of the car accident. The time he had off, I thought he looked good.
He did. I mean, like I said at the start of the stream, I thought the performance that we saw from him would be pretty much how I thought the fight would have gone if he hadn't have had that car crash. Maybe a little bit of better stamina in those last few rounds, but besides that, it's pretty much the same Errol Spence we know.
I thought he looked impressive, and it puts pressure on Crawford that when you look at Spence has fought Danny Garcia, he's fought Porter, and it puts Bud needs to fight. I don't think Spence will fight Crawford next. I think Spence will have another fight to try and just get some more rust. So I think in the meantime he'll do that. Crawford needs Pacquiao or Porter. He need if he wants a 50-50 split of the purse, he needs Pacquiao or Porter, because Spence is making Bud's resume at welterweight look pretty mediocre.
Yeah, well,
Spence has fought Porter, he's fought Danny Garcia. Bud hasn't fought the same caliber of opposition at welterweight. If Bud wants 50-50, he's going to have to. He needs Bud or Porter to up his his worth. Like Bud says, I'm a 3 weight class champion. I'm already a Hall of Famer. It's like, well, Bud, you are, but at welterweight, the reality is you just haven't fought the people that Spence has fought.
That's right.
And you got 1 belt. And how many belts has Spence got? That's the problem. I understand Bud wants a 50-50 split, but he needs that just one big fight, man. As Pac or Porter, he'll be able to ask for 50-50.
I kind of touched on it before. I think Al Heyman would be a lot more open to letting Sean Porter fight Errol Spence. Sorry, not Errol Spence. Bud Crawford. He's also the mandatory for Bud's belt.
Yes,
but, and I think Terrence really does need that belt from Pacquiao to try and get that close to that 50-50 like you're talking about. But if Heyman can get Pacquiao for Spence and he gets hold of 3 belts and Crawford's only got 1, Crawford's not going to like the split that he gets offered for a unification fight.
I know, that's the thing. I hate this A-side, B-side stuff. I hate it. It cost us, like AJ and Wilder, we talked about A-side, B-side for 3 years and ended up with nothing. And I fear this fight going the same way. So I really hate this stuff. But it is a reality. It can be hard to ignore when you look at the resume Spence is building and the belts he's got, and you look at Bud. And as you say, if Spence beats Pacquiao, he could offer Bud 35%,
Yeah.
Bud needs a big fight, man. There can't be any more excuses from Bob Arum or anybody. Bud just needs a fight to be made. He needs Porter or Pac.
Yeah.
It's just otherwise, because Bud come out and said he wanted 50-50, then he's saying something like he wanted 60-40, and it's like, mate, you're on another planet if you think that. You're just not in a position with your resume at welterweight to be demanding that kind of money. What you did at those other weight classes, that's left in those other weight classes.
Yeah, and it doesn't get talked about, but how strong was 140 when he became undisputed,
That's right. When
he
you
wasn't fighting any Mikey Garcias, or he wasn't fighting or did he fight Danny down at 140? I don't think he did he?
No.
So
as I say, you look at you compare the resume. I'm a Bud Crawford fan. I like Bud. But when you look at his resume compared to Spencer's, Spencer's pulling away from him. And Bud needs to recognise that, and he needs some big fights, and he needs to talk to Bob Arum. I mean, if I was Bud, I would have said to Bob Arum a long time ago, I would have sat down with him and said, look, mate, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
What can you actually do for me? I mean, I signed with you because you're a big name promoter. So when I sign with a big name promoter, I expect results. I expect, if I was a fighter and I signed with a small promoter and that promoter couldn't get me the breaks, I could understand that because he's a small promoter. Yeah. But if I'm signing up with a big promoter with leverage in the sport and I'm not getting the big fights, it's going to come a point where I'm going to be sitting down with that promoter and saying, look, mate, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I think Bud's manager putting out that email about, that pissed Bob Arum off has something to do with that, because Terence just hasn't been getting the fights that he should be. Granted, this COVID situation has put a bit of a stop on things, but he was with Arum long before this COVID situation came out.
Oh,
so.
that's right. I really feel that. I just don't think Arum's done a good job. I don't think Arum's done a good job with him. I really don't, And I'm not anti Bob Arum, but I'm just, as I say, if I was Bud Crawford and I'm signing with a big promoter like Top Rank, I would expect to be getting fights.
Well,
I'd expect a lot.
You got to say how you see it, and that's pretty much how it looks. Bob Arum just doesn't seem to care too much.
No.
I mean, he still had Manny Pacquiao when he signed Bud, and we all thought that meant, we're going to get that fight between them. And then Bob killed it, he said so himself. And then Pacquiao went off and did his own thing. You would have thought that Terence would be his new #1 golden goose, but he certainly doesn't treat him like it.
No, I mean, and he admitted he killed the fight with Pac. I mean, that's a disgrace.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace, mate. What the hell?
Sad,
and I just, and I look at the PBC, and I mean, Al Heyman, he's done pretty well for the Charlos.
He has.
He's got Jamal Charlo some good fights. He got Jamal the fight with the last guy who fought. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but it was a good fight, and Jamal won that fight and looked good doing it. I mean, you look at what he did on the weekend. PBC, they put together that fight card. They did a big arena, so it was a smart move. You hear people saying, "Oh, we can't get crowds now," but they were smart because they picked a really big stadium that could hold 80,000. And how many people they put 16,000 in it or something?
Yeah, socially distanced them so they could have a crowd.
Yeah, that's right. That was a smart move. So they still got a crowd, and they put on a fight. You've got Errol Spence, Danny Garcia with 16,000 people watching it. That's good on the PBC. That's all I can say. I know people don't like Al Heyman and the PBC. They've got enemies. People are hard on them. I have to give them as props for putting that on.
Yeah, definitely. And they've actually put on some decent cards in the recent past too. There's been a few cards.
Oh, the Charlo. Yeah, that Charlo card was great.
Not just the main events. The rest of the card was okay too.
So I have to give the PBC and Al Heyman props for putting those cards on. I can't say the same about Bob Arum. What's he done lately?
Yeah, even Eddie Hearn's cards have been crap the last little while.
Yeah, they have. They've been fucking rubbish, mate.
Yeah,
and I know like people don't like the PBC, and I get mad at them sometimes too. The way they grab a belt and then they shut up shop on it. I don't like that. But I have to give them props for putting on that fight, like these fight cards they've been putting on.
Yeah,
they've done a good job in that respect.
That name you couldn't pronounce was Sergey Derevianchenko. It is a mouthful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but I thought, it was a good card, and his brother Jamal, he fought the other guy. I can't remember his name either, but it was good, It was a good card,
He picked up that other belt from him too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did. He grabbed that other belt.
Just trying to remember who it was. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you go through Bud's resume. There's not a lot of big names at those other weight classes.
No. It was pretty tactical how he got to where he was. I'm not questioning his skill whatsoever, but he's using I was undisputed at 140 and champion at 135 and blah blah blah. But if you don't look into who he's fought to get that status, then you're pretty much putting forward weak facts. They are facts, but they are weak.
Yeah.
So,
you look at the reality is, I got his resume up here now, and you look at it, it doesn't compare to Spence.
No.
It just doesn't, mate. No matter what Bud says. And I'm a Bud fan. I want to see him in these big fights, but he can't ask for a 50-50 split with the opponents he's had at welterweight. He just can't.
Yeah. Jamil Charlo picked up that last third belt from Jason Rosario, just to clear that up for everybody. That was his last fight, and that was a good fight too. I mean, it looked like Rosario took a dive, but I don't believe it was a dive.
I think he was losing.
Yeah.
He was losing, and I think he knew it. I think he just thought, shit, you know.
Yeah. I had enough of this. I want out.
I've had enough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people don't realize with the boxing, it's not always that the fighter is financially paid to take a dive. They just find themselves in a fight where they're just like, shit, man. You know, I'm getting hammered here, and I just don't want any more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big difference, eh?
Yeah.
You know.
Did you see the article come out about Daniel Dubois' eye socket yesterday?
No.
He had 2 fractures in his orbital bone. So yeah, it's another one. Initially, it looked like he quit, but once we find out, once I heard he had a broken orbital, I thought, okay, fair enough. He's a young guy, don't want to jeopardize his career.
Yeah.
But now it's come out that it wasn't just cracked in one place; it was cracked in 2 places. And the doctor gave a statement saying if he continued, he could have suffered from career-ending double vision. So it was a smart.
Yeah. I was hard on him when he went down. I was hard on him. I thought, man, what are you doing? Don't quit now. God, you're not fighting that bad, mate. You're in this fight. And I thought, God, that was weak. But then, when I found out about the fractured eye socket, it's like, no, it's okay. It's all good, mate. you know, because as we talked about last week, man, if you got a fracture there, you get hit on it and it pushes the bone in, you can end up with even worse damage. So I don't hold that against him at all.
No.
I just hope he can bounce back, because two fractures, geez, what are they going to put plates in? And
well,
you know,
it didn't say in the article what's going to happen, but I'd imagine he'd end up with a bit of a cyborg face like Cal Brook. But it also brings into question, is his other eye socket going to be susceptible to the same injury, kind of like Cal Brook was? Is it something to do with bone density
genetics, just the way he's made.
So it'll be interesting to see how he goes, and whether he's actually going to come back, or how long it's going to take him to come back, and whether he's going to be the same fighter. So long road back.
He will favour that eye.
Yeah.
You got to know it when you're in the heavyweight division and that you're getting hit with those power punches, and it wasn't even a like a big right hand that fractured his eye. It was like just repetitive jabs.
Yeah.
So
I think something he should try and start doing in training is practicing fighting a little bit southpaw if he needs to every now and then, you know, because if he had that under his belt as it is, maybe he could have switched stance and possibly protected that eye a bit and fought the rest of the fight out, possibly to a win. I mean, one of the judges had Daniel Dubois miles ahead, one of those in Frank Warren's pocket judges, but
right.
You know, if it happens again later on in his career, it'd be good to have that skill to be able to switch it up and protect something.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, what did you think about that fight? I thought it should have been stopped on the undercard. Was it Santana?
Yeah, should have been stopped.
It should have been stopped earlier, man. He was stunned about 5 times. His eyes just looked like he didn't know where he was, and his corner just kept sending him out.
Yeah, he wasn't.
It was terrible.
He just didn't look right on his feet after he got hit the first time heavily. So
He didn't, man. It looked awful. I just can't believe his corner let it go that long, and the referee let it go that long.
Just because he's a tough guy and he can take it doesn't mean he should. Yeah, there's no way he was going to win that fight. No way.
No, you got to protect the fighter from himself.
Yeah.
Like one, I think it was the end of the 9th round. I think he got hit with an uppercut. He turned to walk back to his corner, and he was staggered sideways. Did you see him do that?
Yeah.
Was at the end of one of those rounds, he turned to walk back to his corner and he went sideways. It was like, man,
he was already concussed.
His corner should have just said, "That's it, mate. You're not coming out."
Yeah.
The next round, done. Yeah, man. That fight really, I was sitting there watching it, thinking it was bothering me. It was like, damn. I mean, just pull the plug on this one.
Interesting comment here. Triple D is not even a mini Frank Bruno.
It's unfortunate for him that he's just got caught at the beginning of his career with an injury that might end his career.
Yeah,
he's only in development. It's unfortunate for him that he's only developing as a fighter. You know, it's very unfortunate.
He's only 23, man. You know,
Yeah, 23 years old.
people seem to
Jeez,
forget
he's
that.
a baby by heavyweight. Baby by heavyweight standards.
Yeah, some guys come along quicker than others, particularly people who have more extensive amateur career. I know a lot of people were saying, well, Daniel had over 75 amateur fights, but there was very few of them were at senior level. And that's a totally different kettle of fish. You know, he did.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, give the kid a chance. Let him develop more. Hopefully, he can get over these injuries, and I think he could be a threat further down the track when he gets a few more skills under his belt. When he learns to move his head a bit better, and he learns to get inside on fighters who are bigger than him. Because most of the people he's fought to date are not bigger than him. Besides what Razvan Kajanu and Joe Joyce, and that's it.
Yeah, man. I just feel sorry for him that he may never reach his full potential now.
Yeah.
You know, you go into his career, for the rest of his career, you know, with the vulnerability of having those plates in his eye, you know, could play on him mentally, and it could just be a weakness physically. It's a really unfortunate for him. But
it kind of makes me a little bit sick when somebody takes a loss who was undefeated, and these fans just turn like you know, a scooter on a dime. Oh, he's just trash, he's nothing as soon as they take a loss. But give the kid a chance. A loss isn't the end of your career, and if you turn on somebody just like that, well,
it's like Joseph Parker. I still ride with him.
Yeah,
he frustrates me. Yeah, he frustrates me sometimes, you know, and that with, you know, not having enough killer instinct. But I still ride with the guy. I'll ride with him till the end of his career. You know, it's just, he's from New Zealand. I wish him well. And, you know, and I thought, one guy said to me, oh, he failed against Dillian White. I said, mate, he got dropped with a headbutt in the second round and stunned. He didn't quit. He kept fighting. He got hit with a left hook in the 8th round or something. He could have laid down and quit then, and he didn't. He got back up and kept fighting. And then he had Dillian down in the 12th round. It was 30 seconds for winning the fight. And if the second round had been scored correctly, a 10-9 round for Parker, the fight would have been a draw.
Exactly.
I was not down on Parker for that fight. I felt he needed to go to the streets a bit more with Dillian to counter Dillian's dirty tactics. I was down on Parker for that. But overall, I thought, you know, Parker showed a lot of heart in that fight. He dug deep, you know.
Agreed. I mean, if you support a fighter and he takes a loss and you turn on him, your support was never proper support in the first place. You know?
Yeah, man, that's right. You're just you're a fanboy, mate.
Fly by night fanboy.
Fly by night a fanboy. Yeah, totally, man. You know, definitely.
Same goes for anybody, not just your countrymen for the one guy you like or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I backed Evander Holyfield for years. You know, he lost fights. I still liked him. I backed Tyson for years. He lost fights. I still liked him. Yeah, there's some treacherous people out there, man. Yeah. And sportsmen know it. Hey, you hear sportsmen comment on it. You know, people love you one week and hate you the next. And they're fake people. They're very shallow. But you'll tend to find people like that will generally be like that in life and overall.
He called Joe's mum a blind idiot. No, he called her blind, but he didn't call her an idiot. And by the way, she actually is blind.
So, he should. Oh my God, he shouldn't have said.
He shouldn't have. No, he shouldn't have. But you know, neither guy is much of a talker, and I suspect they'd both been told we need to create some hype for this fight because neither of you guys are doing anything, and that was his attempt at trying to create some hype. He shouldn't have said it. I agree, but I don't think it was in his character to say it. I think he was pushed to say it.
Yeah, it's like when Joseph Parker tries to trash talk.
Yeah, it sounds stupid, eh?
Oh, it does. It's just no good, man. He just can't do it. It's just not his thing, you know. It's unfortunate, but it's just not his thing. Yeah. But yeah. What do you think's going to happen? God, I was thinking about. I reckon AJ will absolutely piece up Joe Joyce.
Oh yeah.
I know Joe Joyce beat Dubois, but he's there to hit Joe Joyce, and AJ, he's got the height, reach, he's faster, he's got power, both hands, and he won't have any problems finding Joe Joyce, man. I know Joe Joyce has got a good chin. I know he's a tough guy, but I think Yeah, I'd like to see AJ and him fight, but I think it'll be a step too far for Joyce. But he'll get a good payday, and he deserves it, you know.
He does. He's definitely earned it. I mean, he's taken a lot of heavy shots to get to where he is, and he fully deserves a payday. I think he's getting close to a mandatory, depending on what happens with the WBO. I think even the WBA, he's getting right up there as well.
Yeah, I haven't.
Let's just have a look at that, actually. What do we got here? See if the WBO's updated their rankings too.
You got Usyk. You know, Parker beats Junior Farr. He'll have a fight coming up. You know, he's going to have either Usyk possibly, or I'd love to see Parker fight Usyk or Joyce. It'd be great.
I'd prefer to see Usyk Parker because that's a fight I've wanted to see for a long time. But
yeah,
I'd definitely watch and pay for Parker v Joyce as well. So yeah, the WBO haven't updated their rankings as yet.
Usyk's 1, Dubois 2, so that means that Joe Joyce will take the 2 spot. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see.
Dubois was 7th with the WBA, so Joyce might get that spot too. WBA, I thought Joyce was highly ranked with them, but no, I am mistaken. It's not even in there. Oh yeah, no, it's not even in there.
No, I can't see. Where is Joe? Joseph Joyce, number 13 with the IBF.
Yeah.
And Joe Joyce is 11 with the WBC. So it's a WBO where he's going to get his shot, looks like.
13. What side are you looking at for your rankings? It's different to mine.
Fightnews.com.
Okay, I'm looking at the boxing scene ones.
I don't know what's more update, your one or my one.
No, I got Joe Joyce at 11 with the WBC.
Yep.
What's this one? WBA. I don't think I've got him full stop.
No, neither. You know, I got him. He's 13th with the IBF here, but this may not be as updated as the one you're looking at.
I've got Otto Wallen at 13th, so yours might be more up. Oh no, I've got 11th with the IBF, Joe Joyce.
Oh, okay, yours will be more updated than. Yeah.
And yeah, he's still. Was he 7th? No, he wasn't. He was 11th with the WBO, but that's going to change. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Might not be till Christmas before we find out what those rankings are going to do. But it looks like Joe Joyce is probably going to fight Marco Huck next.
Oh, yeah.
European title.
Got a question from Yakface. Did you have Daniel Dubois over Joe? I picked Daniel Dubois to win the fight. I thought he could. I thought he wouldn't have any issues finding Joe Joyce's chin, but I thought he could get him with an accumulation of punches. But no, I underestimated Joe Joyce's chin. It was I knew it was good, but it was a bit better than what I thought. And
I'd also picked Dubois. I picked him by stoppage, but I also said with the caveat on that, if he doesn't get Joyce out of there by 8. I think Joyce will get him on points. But man, Joyce doesn't usually sit behind that jab so consistently. He usually comes forward a lot more than what he did and eats a lot more shots. He is a lot more cautious in that fight, and it paid off for him. So, you know, full credit to Joe Joyce.
Yeah, he won that fight with the jab.
Yeah,
I watched the fight again. I watched it twice, and the jab was the difference between the two.
As the old saying goes, you know, your right hand can take you around the block, but the jab can take you around the world. So,
it's funny. It's funny how in boxing, how important the jab is.
Yeah,
it's so powerful. I mean, you look what Lennox Lewis did to David Turr with the jab. Absolutely neutralized him.
Yep.
You know, Evander Holyfield did it to Mike Tyson with the jab. He gave Tyson hell with his jab. Evander, he had a 6.5-inch reach advantage, and he fully utilized it and made it really difficult for Tyson. You know, Larry Holmes with the jab, he just trashed guys with it.
It's very much a kryptonite for boxers, against
Oh,
somebody who has a very good power punch.
It is.
You know.
It is. Yeah, they just can't get in to use it, eh?
Yeah, if you can't get in to use that power, you can't win the fight. If that's all you got is a power punch. So
And that's what we were talking about with Danny Garcia. His dad was saying, "Oh, Danny just needs to let his hands go." You know, he just wasn't doing it. I was like, well, he was on the outside. He was getting out jabbed. He couldn't get inside so often to let his hands go.
yep,
You know,
didn't really move his head
it's
much
just-
when he did try to come in as well. You know, but Spencer's got a pretty good jab, and he steps right into it too. So if it hits you, it makes you think twice about trying to come in. So, you know, full
Yeah.
credit to Spence as well. He did a bloody good job.
he did. Yeah, he did, man. I was impressed with him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. I like Crawford and Spence. You know, some people are really hardcore one or the other, but I really like both of them. I think they're both really good fighters. They're both entertaining.
I'm the
Yeah,
same, man. You know, when there's two top fighters, usually I just want to see them fight because I want to see what happens. When it's a fight that you don't know what's going to happen, that's the fight you want to see. But if you really like one guy, you don't have to dislike the other one.
No, I respect them both. Both
Yeah.
real top quality guys. You know, they really are.
Definitely.
I just want the fight to happen. I just pray that these damn promoters can get it done, man. Just
Yeah.
get something done.
Sort it out. We don't want it to go stale. We don't want it too late. We don't want one guy getting too old. You know, I think Spencer's got 3 years more youth on Terence
Does.
Crawford. So
Yep,
we
he
don't
does,
want to
man.
see Crawford get to 36, 37 years old where he's
but
on the
Bud's-
slide. Because that's,
But Bud's 33 now,
yeah,
so we really want it next year.
at the
He
latest.
was 33 he was 33 in September, and I know I heard Bob Arum say, well, the fight with Spencer's not an option because you can't have a crowd. Well, we just saw that you can have a crowd.
Yeah, so shut up, Bob,
had-
and get it done.
Yeah, they had 16,000 people at that stadium, so you know they can have a crowd, man. They can do it.
Well,
I don't see.
hopefully this vaccine that's coming out is going to kill all this excuse of can't have crowds crap.
Yeah, man.
Um,
You can say to people, if you want to go to a sports event, you got to get your vaccine.
get it done
You know,
and get it made,
done.
and let's see it before someone gets too old, and then the credit can be taken away from a win for either guy. Or if Spence beats Crawford and he's 36 years old, people are going to start saying, well, he was over the hill.
Yeah, Bud
So-
was old, mate.
Yeah.
It was like Mayweather Pacquiao. You knew it was too late.
Yep.
You know, like I paid to watch the fight out of curiosity. You know, my whole family, we all sat and watched it, so we all just put in for it. It only cost me 10. You know, I think I paid about $10. We all just put in, so it didn't cost me a lot. But you knew watching it that, you know, Pac was past his best.
Yep.
And it leaves you with a hollow feeling. It's sort of, it's almost like what if.
Yeah,
You
even
know, it
even though
sucked.
Floyd was older than him, Pac at his best. I mean, look at how small the dude is. At his best, he was competitive with the best guys at 147.
Yep.
You know, so
And the thing is, Floyd's fighting style will last longer.
of course he doesn't take half as much damage.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. So he was fresh,
Mm.
very fresh sort of guy. But
So-
yeah, as I say, I just pray that the promoters make this fight happen. Crawford Spence is like the only fight. Well, in all honesty, I think Crawford Spence is as big as AJ Tyson Fury.
Well,
It is a great fight. It's a great fight, man.
yeah,
Crawford Spence is a great fight.
the amount of time fans have been talking about it and it's been built and argued about, I don't think it can be hyped any more than it already is. Besides
I
just
know.
just
And
the
the
3 months of
pay-per-view-
promotion, and that's it.
The pay-per-view buys they'll get for Crawford Spence, man, will be big.
I think they'll get more than a couple of million easy. You
Oh,
know?
I think so. It's a huge fight, man.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't charge $75.
Well,
If they were smart and they maybe toned it down just a little, they charge the American public a lot for the fights, man.
do, yeah.
They really do, and a lot of people get annoyed.
they knocked it
I
down
think
to
people-
$50 instead of what, 79 for HD. If they
Yeah.
knocked it down to $50, I think they'd find they'd get a hell of a lot more, possibly even 1 million more pay-per-views than they would have at the higher price.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
man. What they need to do is, we talked about this before, is carrot and stick. Crack down on the illegal streaming, lower the cost of the legal pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know, so you got some, because I remember reading an article about where the illegal streams were actually coming from, and they're from known sites.
Yep.
A lot of them are from known sites, so they could just go to these people and say, look, man, if you allow these illegal streams on your site, you are facilitating people ripping off our product. We're going to hit you with the bill. You'll see how quickly these sites start stopping these illegal streams. Once they know it's going to hit their pocket, they'll stop it.
I think a lot of the streaming sites work out of countries where the American laws can't touch them or something like that. But there's got to be a way where they can crack down on it somehow, short of sending a truckload of goons to the doorstep of the VPN address and shit, you know.
They've just got to work. They've just got to work out a carrot and stick approach.
Yeah.
Bit of stick for the illegal streamers, but then lower the cost of the legal stream so that people feel comfortable paying it.
Yeah.
I think they'll make more money in the long run. $75, like $79.95 or whatever, for that's in US currency. You imagine if we were paying that. $79.95 US is $113.38 New Zealand. I mean, I couldn't pay that for a fight.
That's crazy. That's not, yeah.
This is crazy, man.
That's crazy.
Oh God, I'd have to get 5 or 10 people around the house to.
Yeah, it's just
No,
about
that's what I
cheaper to
used
go
to
to
do with
the
pay.
go to the actual event. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. See, I was quite good. My sister lived close by to me, and they were into the fight, so we used to just go get together and pay $10 each.
Yeah.
So no matter what, even when Joseph Parker fought Ruiz, it was $60 or something. I mean, I only paid about $10.
That's the one.
And we were all putting in for it, so I didn't fuss over it too much.
Yeah, you have some good company to watch the fight with as well.
Yeah, we used to get together, get some food and that, watch the fights. It was just a good night, so yeah, it didn't cost me too much. That's the best way you can do it.
Yeah. All good.
You still going to Junior Far's fight?
I've cashed my ticket in for now and got my refund because I'm not 100% sure it's going to happen yet. But
Yeah.
if it is going to happen at the end of February, early March, I'll probably still definitely get to it. I'm assuming it's still going to be at the same venue and all that, but we'll see what happens. I know a lot of the sponsors may pull out of the fight if it doesn't happen at the right time, depending what happens. So you know, as long as it's in Auckland, I will rebuy a ticket and get back into it. But yeah, I've cashed it in for now.
Oh yeah. Don't blame you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I haven't heard anything about how Junior's going since his operation and whatnot, but I'm gonna have a look into that today to see what I can find out and maybe post something later on. So,
Sweet.
yeah. All good. Alright, so was there any more boxing you'd like to yarn about?
No. Oh, we've just got Pulev this weekend.
It is this
Pulev
weekend.
and AJ.
Yeah, Pulev and AJ
Yeah,
this weekend.
I think AJ will finish that within 6 rounds. I think.
Yeah, I've got him in less than 6 as well. I'm just going to bring up the card, see what other else is confirmed. I know we've got that Glowacki versus Lawrence Okoli fight on there. I think that's going to be a stinker. That's just Lawrence Okoli, how he fights though. But Glowacki's going to come to fight, he always does. That's for the cruiserweight, WBO cruiserweight title. So that'll be interesting. I believe we've got Huey Fury and Marius Vuk on that card as well. And Martin Bakole versus Sergey Kuzmin. I think that's probably going to be the best fight of the card, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just let me bring the card up to make sure I'm not misquoting. Huey Fury might not be on there. Sick. But if it is, I think Marius Vuk's probably a good fight for Fury to try and get some rounds in and show that he can be aggressive. What can pop if he catches Fury? He could be in a bit of trouble, but I don't think he's quick enough to catch Fury full stop. Event, here we go. So yeah, we've got the main, Joshua Pulev. The co-main is that other world champ, the cruiserweight, Lawrence Akoli and Krzysztof Glowacki. Yep, Hughie Fury and Mariusz Vuk are before that. And also before that, oh, who's this? 11-0 fighter, super welterweight, a name that I cannot pronounce. So I'm not going to bother. You can look that up yourself. Super welterweight fight. Okay, we've got, is it a woman's fight? Looks like it. Super bantam. And that's all we got on there. Oh, I thought the Kuzmin versus... Oh, there it is. Yep. Sergey Kuzmin and Martin Bakole. 15-1. Martin Bakole. His only losses to Michael Hunter, and Sergey Kuzmin is 15-1 as well, and his only loss is to Michael Hunter as well. So, be an interesting fight. But I'm picking Martin Bakole in that one. I think he's going to make Kuzmin quit in the later rounds if he doesn't knock him out in about 8.
Yeah, Sergey Kuzmin, is he that short, stocky guy?
Yeah, he's not really. He's quite
Short.
Chubby. He's like
Yeah.
German version of Martin Gorman, sort of. Lawrence.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know who it is. Yeah.
He had a fight with Amir Mansour a while back, and that fight got stopped on cuts. They had a huge heat clash, and both guys were split wide open. But Sergey Kuzmin stopped Dave. Who did he stop? He stopped Joe Joyce in 1 round in the amateurs. So he's got a bit of pop if he can get to you.
Yeah.
Just looking through his record to see who his most notable win was. He hasn't really got one. Leron Mitchell, maybe. Might have been his best win. He was 16-1 at the time. We got him out of there in 6 out of 12. TKO. He's beat David Price as well. He stopped David Price. He made him quit. That's right. I remember after 4 rounds, Price made like he had an injury, but I think he was in that low spell where he didn't have much self-confidence.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no other real names on his record that's worth mentioning. Probably David Price would be his best win, but the fashion that he won it, I wouldn't call it his best win. Leron Mitchell is actually a pretty decent sort of boxer. I'd call that probably Kuzmin's best win, but he's also fought Joey DeWaco. He beat him a majority decision over 10, so that gives you an idea of the level. Remember, Joey DeWaco's only 5'10". Kuzmin, I think he's 6'4". Is he 6'4" or is he 6'2"? Yeah, he's 6'4". So he's not tiny, but he's a pretty heavy set kind of guy. He seems a bit lazy, doesn't really come into the fight in very good shape most of the time. His last fight against Leron Mitchell, he came in at 258.5.
Just there to get paid.
Pretty much. Yeah, it looks a lot like Gorman, just the body shape, I mean. He's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger. But he's
Dave Allen.
He's very
Dave Allen's retired, eh?
Yeah, he gave up after pretty much getting starched on his feet by Alexander Usyk in sparring. That was getting ready for the Chisora fight. So
yeah, I saw the video. Raphael Dawkins, Rafi had it on. I saw it. Oh yeah, he stunned him good.
Yeah, I first saw it on IFL TV, and it's like, yeah, he was definitely out on his feet. He's one tough cookie, I'll give him that, but it's a fine line between tough and stupid, eh?
Oh, there is, man. He was a disaster waiting to happen. I'm glad he's he's got out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do a bit of pundit work or something. But
Yeah, I heard he's got some properties or something. So he's obviously heard someone say he had some properties or something. So he's obviously put his money, into things. And
yeah, we did have a gambling issue for quite some time. But
yeah,
he got on top of that and got some good advice and put some money into property. So he's, you can't lose when you're putting your money into land. So
yeah, man, yeah.
he's set. Hopefully, we don't see him back in the ring ever again. Not even an exhibition. Stay away, mate.
Nah, bugger that, mate. That damn Tyson Roy Jones, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about Holyfield and Tyson. Oh my God, it's like they're legends, and I grew up watching them, and I feel privileged to have watched them, and I've still got all their fights on DVD that I watch periodically. But I don't want to see them in the ring as 50-year-olds. I want to see AJ Tyson Fury. I want to see Crawford Spence. I want to see the guys of today fighting.
Yeah. I did notice on that PBC show yesterday, they had a little bit of a talk about the Tyson Roy Jones thing with Lennox Lewis. And they asked Lennox whether he'd be interested in doing that sort of thing. He didn't rule it out. So,
oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like, Lennox, you got out with all your marbles. You got out financially secure. Why would you go back?
Yeah.
Why would you set foot in that ring, man? It's just no way, mate. You got out ahead. You got out a great champion.
Yeah.
Just stay ahead and stay a commentator.
Don't kill the legacy. Don't make yourself a laughing stock. I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, Mike looked really good.
Oh, God,
he probably did look pretty good for a 52-year-old or whatever. Well, 54-year-old, but come on, man.
It was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It really was.
Nobody really wants to see legends kill their legacy like that. That's what this next generation are going to start watching and remembering. Is
I know.
Mike Tyson fighting at 54, 55 years old. No.
Yeah. We want to see Manny at 43 fighting for a world title. I would like to see Manny retire.
Yeah.
In all honesty, for his sake, I would like to see him. He's a great champion and legendary fighter, and I'd like to see him get out while he's in front. You know?
He's already got a world title, is he 43 now? 42 now, maybe. But, he's got a world title, and he's going to have to defend it at some point if he wants to hang on to it. But I'd like to see Manny concentrate on his political career, maybe run for Prime Minister of the Philippines instead of just a senator or something like that. So,
I've got Yak Faces says 52-year-old Mike kills about 99.9% of other men his age. That's true. That's true.
His age, yeah.
I still don't want to see him in the ring, man. I want to see 20-something-year-old guys in the ring, guys in their 30s, in their primes. No, Mike. If I want to watch Mike, I'll watch his old fights.
Yeah. Where it was a spectacle. I mean,
yeah, man.
It's not so much a spectacle nowadays. It's probably something that people of the generation of Mike, who did watch him in his prime, can watch him fight as an older person, and it's not going to kill a legacy for them. But like I was saying, the people of this generation, they start watching that. That's what they're going to remember Mike Tyson as. This old dude who could beat up other dudes his own age. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, man. Like he was the champion 87, 88, 89. I was at college.
Yeah.
And it was like, God, when he was fighting, I mean, it wasn't just a fight, man. It was a Tyson fight. It was so exciting. Everyone was just getting around the TV to, see Mike come out and kick someone's ass,
Yeah.
It was great. And that's what I want to remember him for. I don't want to watch him in his 50s. Shit, it sucks.
Yeah. It's not
Roy
comparable.
Jones.
It's not comparable.
No.
The same with Roy Jones, and like, even though he's only been retired for 2 or 3 years, the last 10 years of his fights, when he was fighting, every time I seen him in the ring, it was like cringe. Just hang him up, Roy.
Yeah, it was just rubbish. It was like the last Evander Holyfield fight I ever paid for was when he fought James Toney.
Yeah.
He looked slow. His punches weren't accurate. He looked awful, and I just never did another pay-per-view for him. I love the guy. He's one of my favourites, but I just never paid for one of his fights after that. He was just old. He'd had it.
Yeah.
They just never know when to quit.
Yeah. Don't let the bug beat you.
Oh, that's right, man. Like they get that bug for the ring, but they should go into training. They can train other fighters. You can still experience the excitement. You're still involved.
Yeah.
You're just not in there getting hammered.
Yeah. I mean, you can even chuck on those 20-ounce gloves and some heat gear and show these guys you're training what you should be doing to a degree, but not for 12 rounds, not for 3-minute rounds, and you know, it's just there for a training purpose. Keep it off the TV screen. Keep those 10 and 12 or 10 and 8 and 10 ounce gloves hung up. Stay away. Yeah, pass on your knowledge in a sensible manner rather than possibly denting your legacy or your health, or you know, it's sad. That's the way I see it.
It is, man. It is. I thought it was sad. I'm glad I didn't pay for it. Jesus.
Yeah.
Apparently they got 1 million buys or something. Something like that. I heard someone say
they did get over 1 million buys.
Oh my God, mate.
That's why Mike's so keen now, but
yeah.
Jeez, it was supposed to all be for charity. I hope it did all go to charity, and maybe that will kill some of that urge to get back in there.
Yeah. Oh, can you believe 1 million people paid for that?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Jesus.
I saw Muhammad Ali as a retard for 5 years. No, he wasn't retarded. He had Parkinson's, man.
Who made that comment?
Yuckface.
Yeah. The Parkinson's when he fought Larry Holmes. Jeez, that was tragic.
Yeah, I watched a documentary the other day about when he fought Larry Holmes, and apparently the promoters and the trainers were arguing about sending him out because he wasn't right. But the promoters were pushing so hard, the trainer couldn't stop him pushing him out. That's sad, man. Taking full advantage
the doctors.
of him.
Apparently, the doctors they did tests on Ali, and the medical people knew he was messed up.
Yeah.
But he was still allowed to fight, and that's terrible. There was a lot of and the sad thing was, at the end of it all, so many fight fans blamed Larry Holmes.
It was not Larry Holmes' fault. No way.
No, they blamed him for beating up Ali. Once the bell rung, he had no choice.
That's right.
You know, he had to do what he had to do. I mean, it was not his fault.
Blame the greedy promoters. That's who it was.
Yeah, mate. And the medical people who knew Ali was messed up and didn't step in and you know, put the report forward and say, look, this guy's sick.
Well, they must have taken a payday to give him a medical certificate.
Oh God, yeah, mate. Yeah, it was just criminal. It was really criminal what happened.
Yeah.
There's no way he should have been allowed in there. And the thing is, he fought after that too. I think he fought Trevor Berbick.
I don't remember.
But the Larry Holmes fight wasn't his last fight. I think he fought Berbick as well. So, oh man, pretty tragic, really. Money talks, mate.
It does. Money puts people's lives in danger. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at his last fight. Yeah, it was Trevor Berbick was his last fight. Yeah, 1981. That sucks.
Oh, yeah. It was bad enough he had to fight with Holmes, but the fact that he was able to get in the ring with someone else as well is just, oh man.
Crazy shit. Crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, it's unfortunate we'll probably end it on a sad note. But, yeah, the conversation takes us where it takes us. So. All good. Thank you very much for coming on once again.
Oh, good, man.
Stephen Marler, aka, and we shall catch you next time, brother.
Sweet, bro. No worries, mate.
No, man.
Later, man.
Yep. Alright, so I'll just close this chat. Boom. There we go. That's closed. And we're going to get over to some Fightnight Champion and play a little bit before I shut this down. So, give me a sec here, get it all up and running. Bada bing, bada boom. Xbox on. And switch it over. There we go. Alright. Make sure I got my sound settings right. Maybe we'll go straight for online fights today. No warm-ups. No, it's not an Xbox 360. It's just the Xbox 360 game. Still the best boxing game out there. Made in 2011.
It's in the game.
They've abandoned the servers, so for a lot of people, a lot of the functions don't work. But we've got a few new boxing games coming out soon. Hopefully one of them is going to rival this. We've got Round for Round Boxing, apparently it's supposed to be coming out next year. We've got Esports Boxing Club, I think it's called. There's actually early access for that right now, which is the bare bones of the game. You can get on and play, but the purpose of the early access is not the full game, it's to help develop it. So if you do get involved with early access, you're expected to provide feedback and suggestions for the bare bones of the game as they develop it. It could take 3 months, it could take 6, it could take 12 months before the game is fully released. But if you do get involved, it's exclusively for PC at present, and if you do get early access, you won't have to pay for the game when it does come out. So we'll start at middleweight today. See what we can find. You Jonos it. Swagger. I think I know this guy. We'll just have a quick look. Have I got a sad face on him? Not there. Sometimes it doesn't show. You know, this guy got a broken account. I went through 10 rounds of fighting last time. Beat him on points and then didn't get a win or a loss. So stuff that. Go heavyweight. Santiago. No one coming. So I should go into the gym and check, see if anyone's ready to fight. This dude mustn't have a good connection or something. It's not loading. Not gonna wait all day. I'm gonna try middleweight. Please don't be the Santiago dude. Crappy connection. Ooh, goes up to good. Diesel. Alright, we'll fight him. Connection looks pretty good. Quick check, did he have a sad face? No, nothing.
Good evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and welcome to the MGM Grand here on the Vegas Strip in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada for our main event. 10 rounds of middleweight action. Great atmosphere here tonight. You talk to everybody ringside, and they expect
he's
this
pretty
one
good.
to be a barn burner.
41-13.
Davis is supremely confident here. Look at him make his way down.
Might be a
to the
bit of
ring.
a
You
cheat
can
though,
just see
because
it
I
in
noticed
every
he had a
step that he
10%
takes.
quit ratio. So if I do end up starting to beat him, maybe he's gonna quit. My record ain't that great because I don't quit and cheat.
Brooks' ring walk, something special in the air. You can just sense it out of him.
Let's roll.
Opening round scheduled for 10. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. How effective of a tool can the right hook be for a southpaw when he faces an orthodox fighter?
Wow, what a dangerous punch for a southpaw. And the danger zone is really there for the orthodox fighter because he's not used to seeing that punch come from that angle.
That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Brooks. And you see what he can do when he sends that right to the head. Vicious is putting forth that hard work he did in training camp there, landing a crisp combination. Takes a step back, then the counterpunch by Davis.
Very similar to what you see Floyd Mayweather do. You know, make a miss, pull that shoulder back, and then come right back with the counter.
Very nice defensive guard there.
Stepping a lot.
Davis's defense is paying off now. Boom, left hand comes home. Boom him. Brooks' knowledge of the game is showing through. 3 ways to defend. One of them is to block. He did it there well.
Yep, his round.
All right, breathe for me. Deep breath. Breathe through your mouth. Good, good. Okay.
He's stepping a lot, man.
Considering the fact that in the last round he got tagged hard, he looks great right now to open up this round.
Well, I'm not shocked because I think he has character. I think there's substance to him. And the only way that you find the mettle of a person is when you test him, when you push him up against the cliff. And he's being tested now, and he's showing what he's made of.
Really wanted that uppercut, but just couldn't get it. Halfway through round number 2.
How did that go right through my block?
That's it. That's it. 1, 2.
Come to me, punk.
You see him zeroing in with that left hand to the body. Good flush shot upstairs. A solid left hand by Davis. Final 10 seconds of round number 2.
Closer round. Maybe still
Listen,
got it though.
You need to move your head more, side to side, okay? I want to see that head move more. Don't let him keep his distance from you, okay? I want you.
Try and pressure him, you reckon,
Round
coach?
number 3 is underway. Sending more than one at him now. The combo to the head. That was a fine block by Davis. He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid effort by Davis.
How did he just punch through my block? Fuck!
Nice block by Davis. Scores up top with a left. Nice strike after catching one by Davis.
Mine's not stepping very well for some reason.
Davis is well off the mark that time. Halfway through this round here.
It's not lunging forward very
Able
well.
to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one. Early on in this fight, one of the things I'm going to look for is who's the more well-rounded fighter.
Oh, how did that
Who can do it all with all their punches?
Well, you look for that in any sport, in any profession. You know, you look at a quarterback, you know, in football, the great ones, they can throw deep, but they can throw the short patterns. They can throw the out, the in patterns. Same thing with a fighter.
Come here, you punk!
Just
I'm
10
pushing
seconds
forward.
to go in this round.
I was pushing forward. It's not going forward.
You're looking good. Looking good. He's tired. Look at him. He's so fucking tired. He's got...
So with 3 rounds complete, we take a look at Teddy's scorecard. Davis is in control of this fight. Teddy, he's earned every round.
He has. If you talk about ring generalship, you'd have to salute him.
Do you see any way in which he can take his opponent's aggression and turn it against him?
Yeah, the perfect way. I mean, boxing 101, counterpunching. You got a guy coming at you, no better way than to change his mind. Make him miss, make him pay.
A clean, crisp right hand by Brooks.
Now it steps when it's too late.
That's it.
Vicious is staying away from trouble. He's out there on the outside.
I'm pushing up.
Jab, jab.
Trying to step and it's not coming.
Halfway through round number 4. Brooks's punch didn't come close.
You got nice. right, left and right.
Davis is able to land a nice clean left hand. Scores with the combo to the head. Not able to land the uppercut. Brooks' failure to protect himself.
Fuck, I'm not pushing.
It's become a big story now.
Yeah, and he has understood.
It's not doing what I'm telling it to.
He's standing too close in front. Needs to adjust a little further out.
10 clicks of the talk.
Doing what you're doing.
Man, I'm pushing forward and it keeps going backwards.
Standing straight up.
Davis is able to land at a good connect percentage. Look at the punch stats. Tried to land that upstairs and was off the mark. He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. Brooks's cut is on the cheek, and you can see that it's
I'm pushing forward,
right now.
man.
Something we'll keep our eye on. Well off the mark by Davis.
Forward.
Vicious has done a good job there, offensively scoring with that left hand.
I'm pushing up, not.
Brooks is putting forth a great combination there. Still plenty of time to work here in round
Why does it
5.
keep going backwards?
See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head.
I'm not pushing backwards.
Brooks's cut is really a mess right now. It could jeopardize this fight for him right here. Teddy, is
Stop
there blame
going
that needs to be placed on
backwards.
the cut man? Could he have done more?
Well, really, the trick to being a cut man is pretty simple. It's not rocket science. You have to have the right medicines, the right coagulants. You have to be calm. You have to be able to put pressure on that cut, get it to stop, and then put those medicines in. But you need
Stop
a little
going
help from your
backwards,
fighter.
you
need him to
freaking
move a
thing.
little bit on his bike and give those medicines time to work.
Brooks is showing that he's got some defense of his own. He got away from that punch. Davis has got that catch me if you can kind of attitude. He's almost daring.
Ah, this is crap.
He's been hurt by that shot. Davis's work in training camp is now paying off. Do you see the accuracy?
Not
the
doing anything I'm
effectiveness
telling
with
it
that
to.
combination? And this round comes to an end. Now that he's back in the corner, we get a close-up look. Brooks is
Get on with it. I'm gonna lose this one, but I'm not gonna quit like a mole.
For his attitude not to change. You know, we can look at it and we can say, wow, that cut looks worse. The fans can look at it and say that. But the fighter must be
Take
steady.
around to try and
Same
cover from the
attitude,
cut of
as
it.
though he doesn't have a cut. Otherwise, he has no chance of winning this fight.
And you'll beat him to the punch.
And we are underway with the second half of this fight.
You're still not moving enough. Move, move.
Vicious is doing a good job tonight on the outside. He's able to score from the outside.
How did that uppercut
keeping a
miss?
safe distance
He
away
didn't
from his
step.
opponent.
Got this one. Good job.
What an impact that left hand just made by Davis. Not able to land the headshot. Solid.
See, how did my body shot miss? Oh, it went right through his body.
He's got his hands tight against his body, but Teddy, still, some things are getting through.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like driving a car, Joe, you know, and the weather's a little bad and you say, I want to be safe here, I'm going to stop the car. You don't stop and park the car in the middle of the highway where cars are coming. I mean, he stopped right there in the middle of the highway. Cars are coming. You know, pull off somewhere. You know, get the heck out of there. Find the right parking spot.
Thought he had his target, but way off to the side with the uppercut.
Get close to him. Stay away from those.
What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Brooks.
Ah,
Brooks is
crap.
hit by him. And yet another Good shot comes in. Teddy, he goes down, and he was on the outside where he doesn't like to be.
Where he shouldn't be, and he paid a price.
Brooks is going to keep taking this test, rising up after being knocked down. Final 10 seconds of the 6th round. Another good round by him there. Teddy, you can't miss tonight.
Getting whooped there.
But you can't miss when your opponent goes out there and begs you to hit him. I mean, he's just standing right there asking for it.
Whatever, Teddy. Talking caca.
Brooks bounces back in his step. The start of a new round, coming off a round in which he really took some punishment.
Well, that's what being in great shape will do for you. Also, great experience where he's been through these things before and he's not panicking.
Blocks it away. Really frustrating his opponent now. Vicious is so defensively sound, it doesn't make for an easy target.
No, it doesn't, and it makes for a very frustrating night for his opponent. I see his opponent now. If you notice, he's getting a little tentative. He's afraid to let the punches go because when he misses, he's worried he's going to leave an opening.
Davis has got a little something coming back at him. A counter punch scored. Up top with the right hand. Brooks's jab lands well.
Keep working the jab. He's tight. He's tight. Keep working the body.
Davis is left now getting into the
I'm
mix.
blocking. Freaking
Well
game.
Missed the body shot.
I stepped back and punched. For God's sake.
Brooks is not coming up with the results that you would want to see out of him. Big shot, the left crashed home. Davis is putting forth a little boom, 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 a three-punch combination scoring. Wow! And he goes down again. Will he get up from this?
Pretty hard when it's not doing what your joystick is telling it to do. Pretty hard.
In this round.
Same thing. Keep the jab moving. And you have to move.
So the beginning of the 8th round is upon us. Davis has had it his way. He has scored knockdowns, and he is just dominating.
Yeah, now it's his fight to win or throw away. And the only way he doesn't win it is he gets careless.
Brooks's cheek is cut. You can see it's opening up now. Boy, that could be a factor later on. Wow, look at that. Trading shots. Defense easily turns into offense. Blocks a blow, sends an uppercut. Laying a trap there for a moment and then scoring that counter punch by Davis.
Double jab. Double jab.
A little give and take, and here comes the left hand. Vicious, his opponent, able to land a sharp counter punch. Brooks is behind on the cards. He's just got to be. Gonna take a knockout to win this?
Yeah, I think so. And it's going to take a certain kind of attitude or strategy, a change in strategy. You go into the fights, you don't look for a knockout. You're looking to use your jab. You're looking to set up punches. You're looking to go rounds. Right now, he's got to find a way to get a knockout. Look for one punch. One big punch right now.
More punches.
My punches are so slow.
Unable to connect by
Look, I
Brooks.
can't even step.
Brooks has got a bloody nose right now. I don't know if it's broken, but the bottom line is it's going to be a distraction. Davis is able to land a good, solid left hand.
What? Nah, my punches are just not working.
Solid.
Crap.
Brooks is stunned and down. Where did that punch come from?
That's exactly what he's wondering.
I'm screwed. Yep.
The ref is stopping.
Well, that
this
sucked.
fight. Davis's power just much too much for his opponent. Another knockout for him. It's late in the fight, and it looked like we were going to get a decision out of this. Vicious's power.
I don't think the guy's
makes
actually
it a
that
knockout.
good.
Reminiscent
Just
of
my
some of the
stuff wasn't
great
working
late
properly.
knockout fights in the history of this
Bloody.
sport.
Alongside
No excuses.
Teddy
I
Atlas,
lost.
I'm
I
Joe
take it like a
Tessitore.
man.
Thanks for being
I don't
with us.
quit.
We'll see you next time ringside.
That's why I don't have 10% quit ratio. Like a cheat. We'll do that. Maybe he's got one of those lag switches or something. That's why my stuff wasn't working. Who knows? Who cares? It could be just what's going on with my Xbox and connection today too. Does that happen sometimes? And hey, just could be me. My reaction's not so good today. He wants a fight. He's only 87. Okay. Wonder if he's got one of them Puddle accounts and he doesn't care if he loses. In which case, if I lose, I don't get a loss either.
Good evening, everybody. Glad you've made the decision to be with us. Alongside Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore, and we're glad to be bringing you action and welcoming you to the MGM Grand here on the Vegas Strip in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, for a much-anticipated main event. 10 rounds in the heavyweight
He's got a
division.
similar record ratio to mine.
Tonight's matchup. Everybody expecting this to be a great night of action. Stone's so attentive when it comes to this moment here. This is where everything he's done, all the hard work he's put in, comes down to one singular moment of concentration.
Let's see what his record says.
Allen's so alert right now. I mean, look at his focus.
15
as
and
he makes
43,
that
okay.
walk that so
Not
many
such a good
fighters
record.
dread. But he
We
makes
should be
that
able to get a
walk
win
down
out of
the
this
bridge
one.
just so very alert.
Unless he's played only top level boxers. Who knows? Let's go. See if my stuff's gonna work this
3
time.
minutes of this 10-round fight. Stone's known as a guy who isn't going to be bashful early on. He has power, and he's not afraid to showcase it.
Yeah, but that's not all that this business is about. My mentor, Customato, used to say, hey, you know, power is just part of it. It's kind of like having a military weapon. You know, you still need a missile to get it there. Alone, all it does is make a hole in the ground. Otherwise, it has no real use. You have to have a way to get it to the target. Let's see if he
Take
has
his
that
body.
way.
And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own. And now another left. Good job protecting himself. Halfway through round number 1. Takes one, but gives one. Good work by Allen. What an excellent two-punch combo by
Ooh, that was
Stone.
a power left hook. Got him with.
Off the target by Allen. Allen's not just loading up, he's landing combination punches like he did right there. Turn the sender with the left hand.
Watch that.
Two good jabs by Allen. Last 10 seconds of this first
Keep
round.
moving your head. Come on, keep moving.
End of
I think
round
it was
one.
my round.
Stone's probably sitting back right now saying, hey, I got everything figured out. Coming off of a sensational round you just saw, he was able to do some serious damage to his opponent.
Yeah, you know what really did it was that left hook to the liver, that body shot. You know, that's like going into a restaurant, you get
Didn't
a
throw
stain
any
on
left
your
hooks to
jacket,
the liver,
you know,
Teddy.
and
What are
the
you
stain
on
just
about?
doesn't come out. You know, you go to your
Left
cleaners,
hook
it's
was
still there.
upstairs,
Those
right hook was
body
to
shots,
the
they don't come
body.
out. They stay with you
need to take
round
some
after
chances.
round, and they keep doing
I almost
damage.
never
They
throw
keep
left
paying
hooks
off
to
for
the
you.
body.
He's got the benefit of that body work going for him.
Right hook,
Look,
right
champ,
hook
you're
body,
standing
then
straight
left
up.
hook head. Or jab to the head, right hook body, left hook head. But I'll change it
Here
up,
we
look.
go. Round two is underway.
There you go.
Well targeted two-punch combo by Stone. Good right hand. Landing a two-punch combo by Stone. Teddy, why is it in boxing that there are so many distinct styles that are defined by geography or culture or
Ooh,
ethnicity?
missed.
Where we have
And he got me
a
with the counter.
Mexican-styled fighter, an Eastern European, upright fighter, an American-styled fighter. Why is that?
Because you are influenced by your surroundings, by the temperament of the people in your surroundings. Aggressive people, aggressive style. Very thoughtful people, people that are very cerebral, well, you're going to have a defensive style. You're going to have a very careful style. It's going to fit right in.
Showing you some defense there with the block. Stone's defense is now serving him well. Nice job blocking that punch. He missed with that headshot. He was waiting for his opponent, just waiting for an opportunity, and he found it. The counter punch by Allen. Allen's doing well here with that two-punch combination. Boy, that worked out well with the uppercut.
Close around, he might have got that one.
Off a real boxing IQ in that last round. Just fighting smart. I mean, not just reckless aggression, but smart, accurate punching.
And talking about IQs, it's
97% stamina, no damage, we're alright.
Educated left jab. A jab that talks a little bit, talks a couple languages. I mean, he's hooking off it, he's uppercutting off it, he's doubling up on it. Good job.
Excellent jab by Stone. Stone's right hand scores well.
Come get it, boy. I'm not gonna chase you. Come on, come get it.
Very accurate two-punch combo by Stone.
You're still not moving enough. Come on now, move.
Stone smashed by an uppercut. Good body shot. The right hand came home. Allen's got a way of just getting away from that punch. Oh, that's good stuff. Fired right back with one of his own. Good work by Allen. Good solid shots with the combo downstairs. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. Allen's blocking ability is doing well for him there.
How did that miss?
Good clean shot, returning fire. Well done by Allen. That is exactly what the corner wanted to see. A good combination punch by Allen.
body shots are all missing.
He gets hit, but he gives it right back.
Come on, punch, punch.
And now he's
Starting to
targeting
do
up the
this not
stairs.
moving where I want it to thing again.
Good work defensively by Allen. Plus, he landed that counter punch.
Yeah, and he forced him to punch. He made him, he drew it out of him, and then he timed him beautifully.
Parries that punch away.
No. I threw a body punch at the end of that combo and it didn't come out.
And that's the end of
This
round
is starting to
3.
get annoying.
Good, looking good. He's tired. He's tired. He's got nothing left. Now listen, I need you to double up your punches and keep the lead, all right?
So as we start round 4,
I
we
don't think
reflect
so.
on
I
the
didn't
first
think I
3,
won that
looking at
last
Teddy's
round.
Scorecard. Stones earned good marks, taking all 3 rounds.
Yeah, non-eventful some of the rounds. Not a lot to separate the two guys, but I think that his jab has carried the day.
And a good 3-punch combo by Allen. Stones keeping his guard up very, very well. Teddy, does it help to have the speed that he has?
Sure, anytime you have speed and you can put it into the equation where whatever you're doing, it has to be technically right, but now you put speed, you're doing it even better. You're doing it at a higher level.
Committing to the body work with the double jab. Good right hand by Allen. Stone's left landing well. 2 snapping jabs by Allen. That is a big right hand after eating one himself.
How did that go through his head, man?
Scores big with the hook to the head. A little head hunting with the right. Allen's at his best. When
Allen's
the
throwing a lot of
combinations are
punches, but
landing,
most of them
he
aren't
scored
landing.
well there with that combo. A well-placed, gutsy uppercut after being tagged.
That was supposed to be an uppercut. They come out when I'm not getting punched.
And you see what he can do when he sends that right to the head. Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. Solid right by Stone. Allen's lack of defense, especially when it comes with just getting away from that right hand, is really costing him a lot here.
Well, it's pretty simple. The old timers would say, move your head, otherwise your opponent will move it for you.
What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been.
He's throwing a lot of punches, but he's not landing squat.
Somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision.
Now I walked
Where they
forward.
didn't win by knockout,
Why is it
doesn't
walking
count.
backwards again?
Stone's doing really well on the outside. Flush right hand to the head. Good job on the
Step
2-punch
uppercut,
combo
man.
by Allen. Stone's got something to think about now. He just threw a punch and had one coming right back at him. His opponent scored well with the counter. That's why they call it the sweet science. Good work by Stone.
Yeah, real smart there. Making them miss, making them pay.
Good 2-punch combo by Allen. Stone's on the receiving end of a very good counter punch. Right to the head with that right. 90 seconds to go here in this round.
Forward, adelante.
And now he brings the left hand upstairs. Good scoring shot. It was a straight right. Teddy, what would you recommend based on what we're seeing here tonight?
Well, 2 aspirin and then go. Oh, no. Actually, I would say a little counter punching would be just what the doctor ordered.
That's a better prescription for him. Fine work with the double jab downstairs.
Keep working, keep working.
Double jab by Stone. Coming to the end of round number 5, last 10 seconds. Another strong round of accurate precision punching from him.
Well, it's easy to be accurate when your opponent walks out there and says, please hit me. I mean, he's like putting a sign on himself. Here's the red target.
Managing the stamina okay, halfway through the fight, still got 88. He still hasn't damaged me. I mean, he's landed a few punches, but they seem to have no effect, so probably an outside fighter who doesn't have much power. That's why he's a bit quicker, a little bit slower. But anything I land does damage. But good power. The sacrifice is speed.
So we've reached the halfway point of this main event. Allen's movement helped out there. He avoided that punch. He returns the favor with a right hand of his own. And now committing to that midsection as the target with the combination punching. A stabbing right hand by Stone. Allen's now feeling the effects, Teddy, of having his opponent punch right through that guard.
Well, he should feel the effects. I mean, look, Joe, it's kind of like standing out in a rainstorm with an umbrella, and all of a sudden the wind's coming, and the rain's coming from the side, and you're standing there under the umbrella and saying, why am I getting wet? Well, you're standing there covering up. The punches are coming from the side. They're coming from all angles. You're going to get wet.
You're not always protected.
Put some pressure on him.
Well played, straight right hand. Took a shot, now he gives a left.
Left, right. Hey, man, come on, now keep your feet.
Good double jab by Allen. Return to sender, he gives him back one of his own. Right hand over the top, very accurate with it. Allen
Good night, buddy.
Back. He just got hurt. Big shot he just scored with. That's a heck of a stunner right there. Down he goes.
Is he gonna quit? He's getting up at least.
Allen's able to get up. Teddy, I question, though, if he'll be able to go on. What does he have to do?
Well, he's got to know what to do, but what not to do. Don't use your legs. Don't try to move because
He shouldn't be
that's
trying to force the fight. He should be trying to recover.
No,
Be
the
smart.
bicycle's not there.
But
You
no.
got flat tires. What you got to do is grab on the inside. Free your
He
head.
wants me to knock him out, so
101.
maybe I should
A
oblige.
Nice, crisp combination by Allen. And that's the end of round 6.
He's going to come forward this round.
Stone's in a position now where he should be able to bring home a win. If things stay the way they are, he's clearly headed towards a win.
Yeah, I have my head on my scorecard, but he has to make sure he doesn't, like in football, go into that defense. If he starts just moving, just staying
He's
away a little bit.
still
now
quicker than me,
the
even though he's
keeping
been
his
knocked
opponent
down,
from
so
coming
I'm
in
not
that
going to
front
go
door.
too hard
Well,
yet.
guess what? They're not there no more. His opponent could get back into this fight.
Try and pot shot every now and then between his punches for now. Look for counters.
Allen's got to find a way to survive and maybe even do more than that. He was knocked down in the last round, and here, you know, all eyes are on his status here to start this round.
Well, Joe, don't put too much on his plate in this kind of situation. Right now, surviving would be enough. He can worry about winning later on.
Good return fire that time. Stone's doing exactly what we expected him to do. He laid out the game plan. I want to win it on the outside. The jab's been there all night.
Yeah, well, that's where it starts if you want to win it on the outside. You know, you're not going to do it with your feet. This is not kickboxing. You know, you're going to do it with your jab. And that's exactly, it's boxing 101. Control range, control distance, control the jab.
Oh, a nice two-punch combo by Stone. Needs to improve that accuracy. Missed with the headshot.
He's getting a bit desperate here.
Halfway through the
Starting to
7th
get
round.
slow.
Doubling up with a jab by Stone.
Jab, step, uppercut, back. Jab, step, uppercut, Step back and then right if he kept pressing.
Good combination to the body. A well-timed right hand by Stone. Stone's getting back to basics. A good, solid jab.
He's wide open for the hook. To the punch.
Solid shot again downstairs. Coming towards the end of the 7th round, 10 seconds to go.
He's getting slower.
Doing what you're doing. Keep the jab pumping, then throw the lead right hand. You're winning this fight. You need to cover up more, okay? You're leaving yourself open to...
So am I though.
So round 8 is underway. Stone's enjoying a commanding lead on your scorecard, Teddy. You got to think that that would hold for him because he has now strung together so many consecutive rounds where he's been dominating.
Yeah, it's methodical. It's been a real workman-like effort.
Come
Not
on!
hitting his mark there going upstairs. Comes right back at him with a left hand. Protecting his head well with his guard. Punches and bunches, combination up top. Stone's making for a clinic here in combination punching.
Well, the first couple punches here, Joe, they're throwaway punches to really set up the payoff down the road. You see the 3rd punch, the 4th punch, the 5th punch. They're the ones that wind up landing.
Trying to run a bit.
Allen's 3-punch combination there is going to impress the judges. The halfway point of round number 8. A well-placed left hand up top. There he is, working the body. He gives as well as he takes. You saw it on that exchange. Now he's putting his punches together. The combination upstairs. Allen's getting himself into the mix now, landing that left hand.
I've gotten real slow all of a sudden.
That's okay. That's all right. Now pay him back. Go pay him back.
Clock count. Allen's crushed by a right hand.
Lucky to survive
We
that
come
round,
to
pal.
the end of the round, and maybe now decision time for the corner here. And Teddy, talk to me about how a trainer knows his guy's had enough.
Well, you have to know your guy. You have to know how physically, how he emotionally reacts from the gym. Where he's at a point where he's hurt, where you know that he can't take anymore. You have to know your guy, Joe. You have to know how he reacts to punches. You've seen him in the gym.
Allen's pushed it a little too far with those low blows, and the
Doesn't want to get knocked out,
referee
so he's gonna
take a point. Well, the referee seeing
You
what he's
fucking
doing there is
poofed
going
up.
to cost him a point. Using those feet, using that jab on the outside well.
And you know what? He used his header.
Big,
Yeah.
big shot.
Don't want to get knocked
flashing
out and you
ball.
want to cheat, I'll just
Oh, and
knock
now
you out
the
then.
real test. Can he
Coward.
get up after going down a second time?
He's gonna quit anyway, probably. Cheat. I was being nice. We're gonna start cheating, I'll just knock you out.
He gets up after that punch, put him down on the canvas.
Now he needs
See?
to get on that bicycle and
Oh,
Nah,
that's
see?
gotta hurt.
That's what you
Allen's
get,
down.
cheat.
Can you believe that? Nobody saw that punch coming.
Try it again. I'm gonna knock you out,
What
fool.
guts he's showing here. I don't know that he's going to get the glory, but what guts to keep fighting here when he's damaged like this.
well, actually, Joe, too much guts. That's why the old-time guys, the smart trainers, used to say you have to have a little fear in there to know when you're in a bad place, to know when to grab, when to get out of there.
he is shaky right there. He is, and the ref is doing it. The ref is calling this fight. That's a disqualification.
You know what? I'm thinking that the fighter wanted it stopped.
Stone's your winner, and he gets the victory by disqualification.
It brings you back in history when Max Schmeling won the heavyweight title the same way.
It was a good one indeed. And for Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time at the fights.
That sorts that. Cheating coward. What a coward. No, we still get a win out of it. Reaffirm that, make sure it's done. See, it doesn't work sometimes, so do it 2 ways and make sure that it does. Coward. Send a message. What's your excuse, coward? There we go. That's what you get. Cheat me, you get blocked. Told to piss off. Let's see what that did for my rankings. Am I back inside the top 15 since I took a couple of losses? Alright, back to 14th. Sweet. Alright, so I think that's probably enough for streaming today. Okay. Back over to where we're meant to be. And there we go, we are back to the main screen. I will check in over here. Not much action in the chat. Nothing in fact.
Oh, what we got here? Unrivaled boxing talk. Yeah, panel's over, bro. Sorry, you missed it. Hannibal B in the house. Good to have you in. Jab that thumbs up on the way out. Indeed. So appreciate y'all coming in for a chat and having a watch of me getting beat at middleweight. Got an absolute hiding that fight, and then beating down a cheat. You asked for a rematch, not likely. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed today's bit of a stream. Boxing chat first, and then some Fightnight Champion. And I'll catch y'all up next time. So I hope everyone takes care, stays safe, and I'm out. So, and that is a wrap for today. Hope y'all enjoyed today's session. If you have, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so not to miss future content. If you'd like to get more involved with the channel, off air, and with the subscribers, you can head to the main channel page, and up on the right of the channel banner there is this Discord invite link. Once you click on that, it will take you to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. Over here we have multiple platforms for chat. We have general chat, which is anything boxing. We have live fight links, where I drop links to fights within 24 hours of them screening. We have live fight replays. I drop the occasional replay here so you can come and watch them. We also have Fight Night Chat, which is for people who play Fightnight Champion. I play a bit of it. You can come and talk strategies, tips, whatever here. But the main thing here is this live panel voice channel. If you ever want to get involved on the live panel on YouTube, this is where it runs from. You come here, simply click on it, and you are in the live chat. And see the green rings come up when I speak. That means your mic is active. Down the bottom here, if you want to mute at any time, you can do so, like that. And if you want to get out at all, there's this hang up button right here. And that's all there is to it. So like I say, I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing. I will catch you next time. Peace.